Going to Sean Houpt, and let me take a look here. 24 points, 6 out of 12 from the threes, 4 out of 5 at the free throw line, and those two you just made were big.
Thank you.
Yeah, you know, the Panthers got off to a good start, and then we knew Florida Southern wasn't going to give up. And so they came back, and then they got a little lead. And then the second half, we got a little momentum going, and they made a couple of critical errors. And the next thing you know, Panthers win this 85-80 and go 2-0 in the conference, and that's big.
Yeah, that was a huge win. That was a really fun game. They're obviously a really good team every year, and this year is no different. And it was back and forth the whole way. It was fun. We were competing. We had a great crowd. We appreciate the crowd coming out, the students. That student section was great. They make a difference. And it was just a really fun game.
We're down here from Danville, Illinois. It's a little warmer down here, but yes. This is a good place. But our big guys, both of them had 14 rebounds apiece.
Yeah, they were huge. They dominated the glass. That's a big reason we've been able to win this season, even when shots aren't falling. We've dominated the paint, and they do that every night.
You know, Monte didn't get a whole lot of points, but he had 14 rebounds and 3 assists. And, then Mackay had 25 points and 14 rebounds. That's about the 8th game in a row he's double-doubled. So that makes it good for you guys outside when you get those bigs in there fighting like they do.
Yeah, that makes a big difference. They've been the most consistent players. Mate is one of the best passers on the team. He's one of the best passers I've ever played with. So those assists don't surprise me. He finds people. He dominates the glass. And Kai is a walking double-double. He gets one every night. And 25 and 14, that's dominant.
All right, so we're glad to give you the player of the game and a big win for the Panthers. And we knew it all the way along. The Panthers are going to win this game. And I never gave up a time this time. So 24 points, 4 out of 5 at the free throw line, and when it counted, you put them right in there and put the game away. So thanks for showing up, and congratulations, player of the game.
Thank you.
We'll get Billy in here. We got Billy Mims coming. They did have 4 people in double figures, 11 for Castle. Rhodes had 14, 20 for McPhelpin, and 21 for Booth. So they did what they were supposed to do, but they scored what they wanted to score, but they just fell a little short. Now, I told Sean 14 rebounds for Noble and 14 for Mate. That's big.
Well, Jim, we felt all along that the inside was where we had an advantage. And we said that our guards, we just had to try and match their shooting because Southern's got some great shooters. I mean, number 2, Jaden Booth came off the bench and hit 4 threes in the first half. Jack Cassell hit 3 threes in the first half. And I thought the key was our defensive switch in the second half. Booth made 1 more 3 in the second half, and Cassell made no 3s in the second half. So we sort of tried to shut those 2 down because at the half, the 2 of them were the 2 leading scorers. I think Booth had 14 at the half, and Cassell at the half, I think, had 11. So 25 of their first half 40 came from 2 players. One of them 14 points off the bench from Booth. So we felt like in the second half we had to do a better job on those guys. Now, they're going to find ways to score. So, Booth made some 2s. He hit 1 3 in the second half. He had some 2s, a couple free throws. You're not going to shut everybody down. When we started shutting Cassell down, number 11, Tariq McKelvin, stepped up for him, and I thought he had a great second half. And D'Amberville's D'Amberville. He's a guard who averages 10 rebounds a game. Tonight he had 11 rebounds.
Yeah.
But he only scored 2 points. He was 0 for 7 from the floor. So I thought defensively we did a good job on him. He did rebound the ball well, but, we did a good enough job defensively. And then, to shout out our guys, I mean, Renako Ziegler and Seshawn Russell were warriors tonight. They went 40 minutes each, Jim, 40 minutes. And I told them yesterday at practice, this is a big game. We have to continue winning at home, no matter what the cost. And I said, don't underestimate Florida Southern.
Yeah.
Just because they're 2-4, they've played some great games. They've had some close losses against really good teams, some nationally ranked teams. And Florida Southern have been a Sunshine State Conference powerhouse for years. I compare
national
them
title holder,
two national titles. They won 2 national titles. Hal Whistle, I think, won the first one, and then Link Darner won the second one. And they're the only team in the Sunshine State Conference to ever win a national championship. So when I compare our league to the ACC, I talk about Florida Southern being the North Carolina of the Sunshine State Conference. They've won the actual regular season league title over 20 times, and I believe they've won the tournament title over 20 times. So they've been a powerhouse program for a long time. Mike Donnelly's an outstanding coach. They've got some really good players, some good shooters, some impact kids. But I knew that if our guards could make shots tonight, I knew our bigs would score. I knew Mackay would have a double-double. Look at Mackay, 25 points, 14 rebounds. You can't ask for more from a big guy than that. And, Jim, tonight, I got to give a big shout-out. Mackay was confident. He walked up to that free throw line. He was a soft shot tonight. A couple of them hit the rim and rolled in. But that's a shooter's touch, the old soft touch. We'll bring it in. He was 5 of 7. He made some big free throws for us tonight, or we don't win.
That big rebound by Nako, too. He had 16 points and 8 boards.
8 boards. He had 5 assists, only 2 turnovers. Session, 8 assists, only 2 turnovers. We had 17 assists in the game, 13 turnovers. We had 7 steals, 4 block shots. And late in the game, Mackay had 2 big blocks late in the game. Mate Pape, a couple of big blocks late in the game. And I thought Mate was really hard done. He played a heck of a basketball game as well. Like you said, 14 huge rebounds, 3 assists, a couple of big block shots. But, Jim, a couple of the fouls called on him. I got to go back and watch the film because I thought he was straight up. The principle of verticality, you're supposed to be allowed, straight from your body right up to the roof. Yeah. You're allowed to jump in that space and just not reach over. And I swear I thought Mate's footwork was great tonight. His body positioning was great tonight. So there were a couple of times I thought he was a little bit hard done.
Well, late in the game, I thought when Sean Houpt went down for this layup down here, and I didn't know what happened down there.
No, I'm going to tell you something else, though. Look at this. Our TERs, we always talk about the team efficiency rating. Our TERs tonight, the best TER on our team was a plus 11. And who was it? Mate Pape.
Yeah,
so what that means to the fans out there, that we won this game by 5 points. But every minute Mate Pape was on the floor, we were 11 points better. So that's how important he is to our success.
Well, all your starters were plus.
All of our starters were positive. And, our bench, Amir Bennett gave us some really good minutes in the first half. He had a big offensive rebound. He didn't make any mistakes out there. I thought Amir Bennett, gave us some solid minutes defensively out there. Niall Harris, it was great to see Niall back in the lineup. He had a steal, a big steal in the ball game, a big rebound.
And Sully made that first free throw. I almost fell out of the chair.
And, I was just thinking right there, we were going to go with all guards at that point because we knew we just had to get the ball in bounds. We had to get it in somebody's hands that could make a free throw. And, I had 3 or 4 kids down the bench I was going to choose from. But I'll tell you why I went with Sully. Because yesterday in practice, he was unreal. He had a great practice yesterday, and I wanted to get him in the ball game earlier, but Session, you got to have his talent out there, and I knew he was going to go 40, and then Nako was just playing like a warrior, Jim.
Yeah, he was.
So I kept him out there, and then I thought about bringing Sully in for Sean once or twice, but then Sean in the second half started just shooting the lights out. So it's like, no, I got to leave him out there. So, we did what we had to do to find a way to win. You can always come back and second guess yourself. But when you got a crowd like we had tonight, and again, I got to thank the home student body, the scholar athletes. Tonight was an ASA night called Athletes Supporting Athletes. And I asked for our student athletes, our scholar athletes, to come out and support our basketball team. And they did again in big numbers. They were vocal. They were loud. I said to them when they came out on the court at the end of the game and they got into a huddle, and Session said, "Coach, speak to them." And I looked at them and they got all quiet. And I said, "I'm going to tell you what, everybody talks about Cameron Indoor Stadium and the Duke Blue Devils and the crowd at Duke. The crowd, those guys in those white T-shirts over there tonight were better than the fans at Duke. They were absolutely the best 6th man in the country tonight one of the big reasons we got ourselves going, got motivated, got inspired was the sixth man, the Florida Tech scholar athletes and student body that came out here to support our Panthers tonight. Every single one of you, if you're watching this, if you came out here tonight, I owe you big time. Thank you for supporting our team. And that home court advantage was huge for our success tonight. So, again, I think our sixth man was a big key in winning the basketball game.
Well, they shot for the game 39%. We shot 43%. They shot 34% from the
Jim,
threes. We did too.
I have to put this up here. You brought that up right there. 39% Florida Southern shot tonight. Right now, I believe we're number one in the Sunshine State Conference in defensive field goal percentage. We have been defending really, really well this season. Now, that was the team tonight. Look, they made 12 threes tonight. They shot 34% behind the arc. They knocked down 12 threes, and they were 86% at the free throw line,
right.
12 of 14. We made 44% of our shots, 35% of our threes. So we matched their three-point shooting, and we were 72% at the free throw line.
You can live with that.
I can live with all of our offensive numbers, but, again, I go back to a couple of big points. We were dominant in the paint. 14 rebounds for Noble, 14 rebounds for Pape. I thought our guards shot the ball really well tonight. Session goes 3 for 11 behind the arc, but Sean, best game of the year for Sean. The Danville native came out, knocked down 6 out of 12 threes tonight, 4 for 5 at the line. Huge game for Sean.
And he was looking for him.
And his threes, when he made them, Jim, they were killer. The daggers.
Yeah.
He had to make shots when we needed shots. And you know what's funny? We talk about Session and how great a player he is. He was looking for Sean Houpt. Session Russell was trying to find ways.
He threw that long skip pass all the way to the corner and he drilled it.
He was trying to find ways to get the ball in Sean Haupt's hands because Sesh read how hot Sean Houpt was.
Yep. Yeah, and Sesh is what you see. He's out there 40 minutes. He had to be getting tired because, Rhodes is a good player and McAlpin is a good player. So if you're going to try to hold those guys down, it's wears you out.
And look at this big stat down here, Jim. In the intangibles, points in the paint, 32-20, Florida Tech.
12 points better.
32-20, 12 points better in the paint. And that's really the difference in the ballgame. We made one more free throw than them, and they made 2 more threes than us. But we said in the beginning that this game would be won in the paint. We knew we were going to be the better team in the paint, but we had to get some firepower from our guards tonight. And Sean had 24, Nako had 16, Sesh had 15. I'll take those numbers any day of the week.
And I think, Session's about 10 points short of being a 1,000-point man here.
Wow. And he can come back again next year if he wants to. He's got one more year here. Yeah. I told him.
I think he'll get that other 10 this year, though.
Listen, he's gonna go way beyond 1,000 this year. And if he came back next year, he might be shooting for Jordan Major's all-time scoring record because he's got a lot more points in his hip pocket this season, I know.
All right. Well, the Panthers now go 2-0 in this league. They've maintained home court advantage against St. Leo and Florida Southern. That's big. Going on the road against Rollins on Saturday, that'll be a big game.
It's a big game Saturday. Every game in this league, Jim, you know that. There's no weak sisters in this league. Every game is a big game. Saturday's going to be a huge game. It's another game. It's our first conference road game, real true road game for our program. We've been on Rollins Court this year.
Yep.
We lost the first game of the season over there by 2 points. And
then we were on a 7-game win streak.
And then we went but we won our second game over there against a very good Benedict team. And we won that game, if you remember, in the paint. And we out-rebounded them by like 20-some rebounds.
Which I thought was really great. Before we do anything, Brian Lytle was a sponsor of the game, and Jacobus and Fielding, the player of the game.
Player of the game. Once again, thank you to Brian Lytle for sponsoring several of our first home games of the season. Lytle, Beckner, and Robeson, Team LBR, and they do an outstanding job in corporate real estate. And Brian has been a part of our Florida Tech family. His son, Ross, attended our basketball camps for many years, and so we're extremely thankful for their sponsorship, as well as Jacobus Fielding, Bruce Jacobus, and John Fielding, injury attorneys, some of the best, one of the best law firms here on the Space Coast. Both good friends. both great supporters of Florida Tech athletics and our men's basketball program, and also former summer basketball campers as well from Jacobus Fielding family. So, again, we've got great people in this community that believe in what we do at Florida Tech and believe in our scholar athletes and the great kids that go to school here and work for great education. So thanks to those sponsors. And, Jim, we got 2 days to get ready for Rollins, and you know what they're going to do.
They're going to zone you.
They're going to play zone the whole night. They're going to play a 3-2 zone, a 2-1-2 zone. They're going to play a 1-3-1 zone. So we're going to come in here for the next 2 days. We're going to watch a little bit of Rollins on film. We're going to get out here and work on our zone offenses. And I can promise you, over the next 2 days, we're going to put a lot of shots up because we feel like if we go over there, again, I like our inside strength, but we're going to have to shoot the ball well against those zones to come away with a big road win.
Panthers on a 7-game win streak are 7-1 now, 2-0 in the conference, and win this basketball game 85-80, and they'll be over at Rollins, the women at 2 and the men at 4.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Billy.